Hello, welcome back to Boulder Bookstore. My name is Stephanie. I'm the event coordinator here at Boulder Bookstore, and today I'm going to talk about some graphic novels and comic books that are great for kids and adults. Some of them are written more with adults in mind, but are really great for kids. Some were written for kids in mind, but are really great for adults. But in general, they're all great for anyone. First up, I'm going to talk about Cat's Cafe. This is a really sweet graphic comic book series. I first came across it as an online comic series, and the main character is Cat, and they own a really cute little coffee shop, and so the comic is populated with all sorts of animals that come in for coffee. There's a penguin who's like really addicted to caffeine, and there's a really neurotic rabbit who helps to serve the coffee, but it is funny, but more than anything, it's just really heartwarming. Like all of the comics are based around an idea of trying to make you feel good about yourself, and Cat's Cafe is the place where everyone can come to be accepted no matter who they are, and it's just really heartwarming. It's very sweet. All right, next up, it's a little more on the surreal side, is Strange Planet. So the concept behind Strange Planet is taking creatures that are, it's taking normal situations and putting them in such a situation that it feels unfamiliar, but like you could see on the cover, it's the one of the creatures says to the other, like, "Oh, you're looking very well," and the other says, "Oh, it's star damage. Oh, I crave the star damage." So it's like the idea that they went out and got a suntan, and just kind of looking at it from as if it was an alien looking at all the weird things that humans do, and it's very entertaining. This one, "Are you in pain? I push myself up to let myself down. I'm up to 50 letdowns a day. So many daily letdowns. I have acclimated to it." It's very entertaining. I think younger kids might not necessarily get all the jokes, but certainly 10 plus is gonna think it's pretty entertaining. Next up is one of my favorite. This is a store favorite, Georgia Dunn's Breaking Cat News. This is Elvis Puffs Out is the most recent one, but there's a whole series of them. And this is another one that started as a web comic that's now a comic strip that's in newspapers. And the concept behind this one is that Georgia Dunn actually based this on her cats. And she kind of came up with this idea, like thinking about her cats reporting on all the news that's important to cats. The woman is has closed the door. Why won't she let us in? Reporting more on the scene. Elvis, tell us more. So the main three cats are Elvis, Lupin, and Puck, and they just go on wacky adventures reporting on the news that's important to cats. Like, who are those cats that are upstairs? Sorts of fun news. So it's very lighthearted, very sweet, and very funny, particularly if you have cats. So can't recommend it enough, Georgia Dunn. All right, so now getting more into graphic novels. So this is written for children, or written for middle grade, so like 8 to 12, but really this is a book that I think everyone should be reading. New Kid by Jerry Craft, and the sequel that just came out, Class Act. New Kid, I believe this did win the Newbery, but I think it's the first graphic novel possibly to ever win the Newbery. And it's beautifully illustrated. It's really funny, but very in-depth as well. The story focuses on Jordan Banks, who lives in Washington Heights in New York City, and he is black, and his parents really want him to, his mother really wants him to go to this fancy prep school because she thinks he needs this sort of education if he's going to make it. And he is one of very few kids of color in this school. So it's not just about that, it's also about him just being the new kid in this, and being the new kid around all these kids who've grown up together and just trying to get through the trials and tribulations that are middle school, but also dealing with the daily microaggressions that he's experiencing from white teachers and white classmates, and the different worlds that he feels like he lives in, going home and being in school. And it's just really well done and heartfelt. Very good. And the last one I want to talk about is my favorite graphic novel series of all time, Bone, by Jeff Smith. This is the 1-volume edition, but there is also a whole series where because this edition, you can see it's all in black and white, but the individual series, the 9 books that that were here before, those are all in color. And so this was not specifically written for kids, but Scholastic's graphic novel imprint Graphics actually got its start by taking the Bone series and putting them all in color. So if you like Avatar, I would highly recommend this, because it starts off very funny and light with the 3 Bone brothers who have been one of them is a con artist, so he's gotten them kicked out of their hometown. So they're traveling along and they end up stuck in this valley with these rat creatures and with these villagers, and with all sorts of fantastical things are going on, and they get kind of swept up in this bigger epic story that's happening in this valley. It's very fun. It starts off very light and fun, but then as it goes on, it gets a little scarier, it gets a little heavier in what it's talking about. But again, if you've got a kid that's 8 plus, they can handle it. And if you liked Avatar, I mean, that's the same sort of thing. It starts off light and it gets heavier. So highly recommended. So those are my books for the day. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what we've been doing, it would mean a lot to us if you would subscribe and share these videos with other people you think might like it. So thanks so much.